Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to see about the flow control statements. Flow control describes the order in which the statements will be executed at runtime. When you are executing a program, if we use these flow control statements, then it decides which order the statements have to follow while execution in the runtime. There are three types of flow control statements: conditional statements, transfer statements, and iterative statements. Under conditional statements, if elif, if else, if elif else comes there, and in transfer statements, break, continue, pass, and in iterative statements, for loop and while loop. We will see each and every one with detail. Conditional statements. First, we'll see what is if statement. Several different kinds of if statements exist, and the choice of which to use depends on the number of conditions you need to test. There are many kinds of if statements under these conditional statements, and based on the number of conditions you will need to test in the program, we have to choose which type of if statement we have to use. Simple if statement. We will see what is simple if statement. The simplest kind of if statement has one test and one action. The syntax of this is if conditional statement, if conditional test, then execute this statement. If the condition, whatever the condition we are giving here, if it is true, then only the statements will get executed. If condition is true, then statements will be executed. We will see with an example. If uh, I'm taking an input from the user, name equals to input of enter a name. If name equals to, we have to use conditional statement here. John, let me say John, then print hello, comma, name. Here in Python, indentation plays important role. The space here plays an important role. If we don't give this space, we will get syntax error. Or if we give space here, if we give more space here, then also it will give syntax error. If this condition is true, then this statement will be printed, and the statement which I am giving now, print hi. This statement print is no way related to this if statement, because after writing this if statement, we are here, there is an indentation, that is space here, and then there is a print statement. It means that this print statement belongs to this if statement. If this is true, then only this will print. Now let's run this. I will save this program on the desktop. I will give the file name as testfile.py. Now I am saving this. Enter a name. I will type John only. Hello John, hi. What if I give, because I am entering John and I am checking the condition. Here I am checking whether the name is equals to John. Yes, it is equals to John. So it is printing hello John. As this is no way related to this if statement, it will print. If I give some the name, now it is not equal. The if condition is not satisfied. So the statement under the if statement will not print, as this high statement is nowhere related to the print statement to the if statement, so high is printing in the output. This is the simple if statement. Now we will see if else. What is this if else? If condition is true, then it will perform action 1. That is the statements under this if statement. Otherwise, if this condition is not true, then the action 2 will be executed. Here what I have given, if condition is true, then action 1 will be executed. Otherwise, action 2 will be executed. I will show you in the program. I will take this same example. After this, I am going to take an else print. How are you? I will run this. Enter name. If I enter John, the output is hello John, hi. I will run this same program. If I enter Tom, then the output is how are you, hi, because Tom is not equals to John. There the condition is false, so it will go to the else block. Whatever the statements are there in the else block, it will get printed in the output. We have given how are you, so the output is how are you and hi. This is about if else. Now we will see what is if elif else. If condition 1 is true, then perform action 1. Or else, if condition elif means if condition 2 is true, then perform action 2. Else, if condition 3 is true, then perform action 3. In this fashion, it will goes on, and at last, else default action. If all these conditions are false, then print the default action that is in the else block. We can also this else block is not necessary. If we want to use only if and elif, we can execute in that way. Otherwise, and this else statement is not required. I will show you in the program. I will take the same example. I will modify this. Here I am removing this else. I will take elif. Again, here I have to give a condition. Elif name equals to Tom. Print how are you. Now I'm not using an else block here. Now we will run this and I'm going to save this. Here I am taking Tom. Now it will print how are you, Tom, how are you, hi. Again I will run this program, and after running this I will give the input as John. Again it will say hello John, hi. Again I will run this program and I will enter some other name rather than Tom and John. I will print 1. Then it is printing only hi, because the condition, the if condition and elif condition is not true. So it is printing the statement which is nowhere related to if and elif, that is print hi. I can add one more elif block here. Elif name equals to some Tommy. print, I will say some, fine. And now we will execute this. Run module, save. I will enter Tommy. It will say fine, hi. And here I will add an else block here, else print a default. Now I am going to run this program. Enter a name. I will enter Jim because Jim is not there. All the if and elif statements have false, so it will go to the else block. Whatever the statement is present there in the else block is going to print. In else block, I have given default, so default is printed here, and then the statement which is not related to the if elif blocks is printed here. Hi. This is about the if elif else. Now we will see the iterative statements. What are the iterative statements? If we want to execute a group of statements multiple times, then we should go for iterative statements. What are why we need to execute a same code for multiple times? Because if we want to print a sequence, then we will go with this type of statements. If we want to execute group of statements multiple times, same statement for more than 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 100 times, we are going to use this iterative statements. Python supports two types of iterative statements. The first one is for loop and the second one is while loop. We will see each one in detail. First, we'll see what is the for loop. If we want to execute some action for every element present in some sequence, then we should go for loop. What does this mean? Means if there is a sequence and we want to execute some action for every element in that sequence, we have to perform the same action, then we will go for the for loop. The syntax for loop is for x in sequence body. In body, we will write the piece of code, whatever we want to execute, perform on this element x in the sequence. What will this x do means if the sequence is list containing of 3 elements, and then it will take each and every element as x. At first, it will when we are executing it for the first time, when it runs for the first time, then the first value is taken as x value. After for when we execute for second time, the second value is taken as x value. If it is running for the third time, the third value in the list is taken as x. Now we will see the example. And also, the sequence can be a string or any collection in the for loop. Body will be executed for every element present in the sequence. Here I have given the example s equals to hello world. This is the string. This is also a sequence. For x in string, that is s. For x in s, print x. What it will do when it is running it when it is running for the first time, the value of x is h. It will print h, and again it will run, and then the value of x is e. Then it will print e. In that fashion, it will print h, e, l, l, o, w, o, or l, d. I will show you in the program. I will take a new file. I will take a string S, hello world, which I have shown you previously, and for X in sequence, that is S, print X. Now I am running this. Before that I have to save this file. I am saving this file on the desktop as test6.py. Save. What it will do, it will print hello, and it will consider the space also as an element, so it is printing the space here, hello space world. This is how the action will be done when we use a for loop. I will show you one more example. I'm taking a new file. I will take a range of elements for X in range of 10. We have already discussed what the range function does. Print X. I will run this. I will save this on the desktop as test7.py, and I'm saving this. It will print from 0 to 9 because we have given the range as from range of 10. So it starts from 0 and it ends up to 10. Before 10, up to before 10, the sequence will be printed from 0 to 9. When we count this, the range of this is 10. I will modify this range from, we can give 10, 20, and the step is 3. Here, what does this mean? We have to print the values starting from 10 to, and it should end at 20, but we have to print the elements after with a difference of 3. That is, the step value is 3. Now I will run this, run module. Okay. First it will print 10 as we have given the beginning value as 10. Then it should be incremented by 3. Incrementing is step, how many steps it had to forward. 10 plus 3 is 13, 13 plus 3 16, 16 plus 3 19. It will stop here because we have given the end range as 20. Before 20 it will take up to 19. So the program stops at 19. Within a for loop, we can also use an if statement. If percentage 3 equals to 0, then print 5. Now I will run this. Okay. It is not printing anything because these values are not 10, 13, 16, 19. These are not divided by 3. So we have not given any else block there so that it can print. So the output is null here. If I give an else block, indentation is very important in Python. Else print hello. Now the output will be hello. How many times it will print? 4 times, because we are giving 4 values here. For each value it will check. For 10 it will check whether it is divided by 3 or not. 10 is not divided by 3, so it will go to the else block and it will print hello. And again it will go, and for in second iteration 13 is the value. 13 is not divided by 3, again it will print hello. In the third iteration 16 is not divided by 3, print hello. 19 is not divided by 3, it will print hello. So this is all about the for loops. Now we will see what is the while loop. If we want to execute a group of statements iteratively until some condition is false, then we should go for while loop. You are giving one condition. For some up to some time, it will be true. When the condition turns to be false, when the condition is false, the execution of the statements within that while block will get stopped. That is, we want to execute a group of statements iteratively until some condition is false. Up to when the condition becomes false, then only the statements within this while block, that is the body, will get continuously executed. If the condition is false, then only it will come out of this loop. Uh, Here is an example. Before giving the while condition, we have to initialize the value previously. What is the whatever the variable we are assigning in the condition, it has to be initialized before the while block. X equals to 1 while x less than or equals to 10. This is the condition. And print x, and again the variable in the in the condition of the while block should be incremented. Previously it has to be initialized. After the while block it has to be incremented. Here see, here we have given x equals to 1. This is initialization. Here we are giving the condition within the while block. Here is the print statement. If this is true, we have to print this. If it is false, we have to come out of the loop. Again here we have to increment it. I think I have made a mistake here, because the x equals to x plus 1 incrementation should be within the while block. It should not be out of the while block. It should be within the while block. Here it should be like x equals to x plus 1 below this print of x. We will see an example program. I will take a new file. I will take same example, x equals to 1 while x less than or equals to 10, print x equals to x plus 1. I will show you what will happen if x plus 1 is given out of the loop. Now I will save this on the desktop. It.py. It will print from 1 to 10. Here x equals to 1. Now it will go into the while block and it will check 1 is less than or equals to 10. It is true, so it is printing x. The x value is 1, it will print 1. Then it will get incremented, x equals to x plus 1, that is 1 plus 1, 2. Now the value of x is 2 and 2 is less than or equals to 10. Yes, it is true. Then 2 will print. In this manner it will go up to 10. 10 is less than or equals to 10. It is true. It will print x, that is 10, and again it will get incremented. 10 plus 1, 11. 11 less than or equals to 10. It is false. at this condition, the while the iteration comes out of the loop, this while loop, because there are no other statements or print statements out of this loop. It will print up to 10 and it will get terminated. This is about the while loop. We can I will give you one more example regarding this. I will take a new file. I will take a name equals to, then file name not equals to John. This is the condition. Name equals to input of name. It will ask us to enter a name until the name is equals to John. It will print thanks. I will run this program so that you can understand it very clearly. I will save this as test9.py. When I enter a name, it will ask again for enter a name. Again it will ask. When I give John, it will get terminated. It will say thanks and the program gets terminated. This is how we can also give an input within the while block as a condition. We can take inputs in this and we can execute. We can perform many actions using while loop and for loop. You can explore more after this session. And now we are going to see the transfer statements. What are the transfer statements? The first transfer statement is break. We can use break statement inside loops to break loop execution based on some condition. If we want, here I have given here there is a loop for I in range of 10. What will this print? This will print the numbers from 0 to 9. But I don't want to print from 0 to 9. I want to terminate the loop at certain condition. If I equals to 7 at this condition, I equals to 7, when if it is true, when it is true, then print processing is enough. Please break. I have given this message so that it is easy to understand. Break. When I break this, at this condition it gets break, and whatever the execution has done before the breaking of the program, that is breaking of the loop, those statements have been printed. Now we will see this break statement in the program. I will take a new file. I will take the same example. For I in range of 10, I equals to 7, print processing is enough. Break. I'm using the keyword break. It is inbuilt in Python, and I'm printing print I I will run this. Before that, I have to save this program. I'm going to save this again on the desktop with test10.py me. Now it will print from 0 to 6. At we have given the condition is if I equals to 7. If I equals to 7, print processing is enough. It will print that, and then it will break. We have given the keyword break. Now at this condition, it will break the loop. It won't print 7 because we have given the break statement before the print statement. So it will print from 0 to 6, and then it will print processing is enough, and the break and the loop is break there. The execution is stopped over there. Now we will see the other transfer statements. The next one is continue. We can use continue statement to skip current execution, current iteration, and continue next iteration. If we are giving a condition and if we use continue there, at that particular condition, it will skip, it won't print that iterative value. It will go to the next iterative value. That is, skip current iteration and continue next iteration. We will see in the program. I will take this example only so that you can understand. Yep, I will give this processing is enough, not enough. Processing, skip the process. I will give this as skip the process or execution. I will just give that break. I will remove this break and I will give the continue keyword. Now I will save this and I will run. What we are getting? You are getting 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At 7, you are giving the condition if I equals to 7, print, skip the process, continue. At this condition, we are not printing the iteration. We are skipping that iteration and we are further continuing it. So it will go up to a 9. It will skip that iteration 7. It won't print that. From 0 to 6 it will print, 7th iteration it won't print, and 8, 9 it will print. This is the use of continue block. We will use this in few places where this is very really important. And we will see the next transfer statement, that is pass. Pass is a keyword in Python. We have already seen the reserved words. There you can see the pass keyword. This is inbuilt in Python. In our programming, syntactically if block is required. It means that when you are writing a code, uh, the program, for the execution of the program, if block is necessary at that position or at that moment, and we don't want to have any other thing to be printed in that if block, then we are passing a keyword called pass. If we if we just type the keyword pass, then the program will be executed. Otherwise, it will show syntax error. That is, for example, if true and we'll leave as it is, then we will get syntax error. If we give the statement as if true pass, then it is valid and there is no problem in the execution of the program. Now I will show you in IDLE itself. If true, I will just execute this. It is not getting. I will just say pass. It is getting out of that if block. You can see the cursor here, the blinking of cursor here. It is coming outside. Otherwise, it is not getting outside of the loop. I will show you in the file so that you can see it clearly. I will save this. Sorry. I will save this program onto the desktop by name test11.py. It is showing expected and intended block. Indented block. It is showing some syntax error because we haven't passed anything within this if block. Okay, if I modify this, I will just say pass, and I'm saving this and I'm running the program. Now it is getting out of that. Now it is executing as there are nothing, so it is blank. So whenever it is required in our program, and if block without any statements, we are using this pass keyword so that the execution of the program will be successful. So this is all about the flow control statements. Thank you everyone.